I said that on camera. Woo. Okay. Ooh. Delete that.
You're listening to the Local Global Nevada, the podcast where we connect Northern Nevada to the world by amplifying immigrant and international voices, bringing clarity to complex issues, and fostering dialogue that strengthens community understanding and trust. Through local stories with global perspectives, we show how diversity shapes and enriches our region. Brought to you by the Northern Nevada International Center. I'm your host, Yulia Rajek. Hello, friends. Welcome back to L.G.N, the podcast that is produced by the Northern Nevada International Center. We're back today to talk about a topic that is very important for many immigrants, but not talked about enough. And this is unemployment and navigating the roles around the workforce and how immigrants actually enter this space while building their future in the U.S. I'm joined today by a recent graduate student, and she's an immigrant from Congo. Her name is Princess Kubuya. Her family came to Reno back in 2016, and since then she has been living and studying here. So she's about to graduate University of Nevada, Reno, and it's time for her to enter the employment and workforce. So what's next? Let's talk about it today. Hello, Princess.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining this podcast today.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for having me today.
We're very glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
So as you've heard, we will talk about you being ready to enter the workforce in Reno, in Nevada.
Yes.
I would like to ask you some questions about that. So first, before we start diving into this deeper, would you please outline a little bit about your personal story? Like, how did you come to Reno? How did you end up going to the university? So all about that, like a little bit, just briefly.
Briefly, like she said, I am a refugee that came here in 2016. My family moved here from Uganda, but my dad is from Congo, so we are Congolese. I've lived here, went to school here, went to Worcester High School, and then from Worcester High School, I applied to the University of Reno, Nevada, because I really wanted to go there, and I was accepted, and I got a full ride scholarship, and I've been going there through ups and downs. We're finally done. It wasn't like the easiest journey, but I am so glad I was able to pull through and finished. Yeah.
That's great. So I forgot to mention as well that you're graduating from the criminal justice program, right?
Yes, I am graduating with a criminal justice degree. Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And are you the first person in your family getting into the higher education?
Yes, I am. I thought my sister would, no shade queen, but I am. And yeah, it's really exciting, and it's crazy. I wasn't expecting to be the first one. I'm glad to be paving the way for the rest. Yeah.
That's great. So would you tell me a little bit of like what motivated you to go to the higher education? Why did you decide to get into the university and spend that time studying instead of just go working?
Yeah. So I wanted to be a teacher at first, but then I realized I don't really want to be a teacher because I've always just wanted to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. And I realized like teachers do that, but they just need a little bit. I wanted something more, and I'm really good at arguing, and I'm really good at speaking up. So I was like, maybe let's go for law. And then, so that's why I picked criminal justice. Mm-hmm. And then UNR just happened to be in Nevada, and I really wasn't ready to move out of my dad's house. So I chose that because I just want to work with kids in the refugee, immigrants, and immigrants too. But I just want to do international law. So, and the only way to do that is to go to college. So
that's great.
That happened that way.
And you just smoothly dived into like, what is your goal? What is your dream to become? So you want to work in the like in the field of international law, right?
Yes, I do, because I feel like it's like giving back to community, like the community that brought me here. I've always been in the system. When I lived in Congo for 3 years, UNICEF was a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
They used to go, they used to come in a specific place. They would give us books, and I remember, I don't know what the book was about, but I remember that book impacted my life because it was in French, and I was learning how to speak French then. But there was another part that was in English, and I was like learning how to speak English. Life as a refugee, you move places to places, and when you have organizations like UNICEF, it makes things better. I know I speak for a lot of other people that have been impacted by UNICEF, and I'm just so grateful for what they do, and hopefully the goal is to work with them one day. Yeah.
That's great. That's a huge goal.
It is a
And I
big
believe you
one.
can achieve that easily, Princess.
Yeah, thank you. I'm hoping that I do. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big dream, but with the support that I've had the last 3 years, and God on my side, nothing is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And He's put so many people in my life at a perfect time. And I'm just so grateful for every single person that's been in my journey right now, and then the people that are willing to go through this journey with me.
Yeah, and we truly believe that you, Princess, can reach the sky. In my culture, we say dream big so you can achieve at least half of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you are already on the stage.
Yeah.
Those people who don't dream, they don't usually get things done.
Yes.
So it's great. And that NNIC will be always behind your back, supporting you in things.
I believe that. They have, guys, they have. I think yesterday we had the gala, and, we were honored for have been here for 10 years, and that was a big thing. One thing that I almost cried is because I saw my dad speaking up there, and I'll say it would be a disgrace to my dad if I didn't say this, but my dad has been my number one supporter. He has been there for me, living with a single dad. It wasn't easy for him, raising two girls and a boy by himself. So my dad always calls me, oh, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be this great things. So he started speaking life into me and my siblings' lives, my siblings and I's lives, for a long time. So I've always had that in my head, I'm going to be great because my dad says so. So why wouldn't I, So, yeah.
That's so cool. And so let's just talk a little bit about these challenges. So, like you said, your father was the only provider in the family for a long time, right? And so he had to work in the United States as a refugee, right?
Yes.
And I believe it was not an easy path, right? So, what can you tell about your experience being a young immigrant, going to school in the United States, speaking fluently English, and between your father's experience? So what are the biggest challenges you think for immigrants to find the place to work? And we're not talking right now about you finding the ideal, the job that you dream about, but in general, any job, because obviously at the beginning of every immigrant's path, you can't just go and get your dream job right away, right? So you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, you start little. So a bit for my dad, because I'm gonna see if So my dad, I'm someone who sees something and then learn from an example, So seeing my dad just start when he started working here in America, it wasn't easy. He started as a volunteer at the thrift shop, Salvation Army. Yes,
Okay.
Salvation Army. And then after that, he got a job. I don't remember his first job, but I do remember it was challenging for him, because he was still learning a lot more English. He knew English by the time we came here, but he wanted to be better, to develop it. So just seeing him do that, and then another job, he used to work really late. He would come home really late. Sometimes we wouldn't see him. So that was really challenging for him to put food on the table. But never once did I see him complain. He was a really hard worker. He would go in, he set his mind, and he wanted to support us and put food on the table. And if he can do it, anybody else can. And because I saw him do that, I've always wanted to work. When I was 13, I was like, can I start working? And he was like, no, focus on school. So the age to work in America is 16. So as soon as I turned 16, I wanted to work, but I didn't work right away until COVID. So the year I was turning 17. But before I turned 17, I started working at L.G.N. The process wasn't easy, though. I applied to like 6 other places and got an interview, but I didn't get selected, and that was very discouraging for a 16-year-old who's always wanted to work.
This is a reality of like looking for a job.
Yeah, it is a reality. I mean, it's even, I guess, worse right now. But I started working at L.G.N. You know, I had Mike and Raylene, they're great bosses that I had, and they took me under their wings, and I started working for them, and that was such an experience, I would say.
Was it hard? So at that time, when you started to work, you were not a citizen yet, right?
No,
so
I was not a citizen.
Did you experience any challenge in getting the job, or like any technicalities? People didn't know how to, for example, hire an immigrant. Was there anything like that?
So getting the job was not challenging. I walked in the drive-through with my teacher, Miss Galt. She was helping us from Worcester High School. She was helping us. We went to drive-through, and they're like, oh, if she wants to work, let's get in. I think we knew someone that worked there. From high school.
So everything gets to you through the connections.
Connections. Oh, my goodness. Connections. Make sure you got connections. It's when I started working there that it was a little bit challenging. I remember it was after the election, so in like November of 2020, after the elections, I think someone came in angry that, you know, a certain president was not elected, and for some reason, I just became the pushback, like someone they wanted to like fight because they heard my accent, and he was mad that the something 6-piece was so expensive. And he was like, it's because of people like you that were in this situation. I'm like, bruh, I didn't do anything to you. But I mean, I didn't react right away because I know how to like hold my emotions. But I remember going back and texting my guy friend, Kevin, and I texted him a long paragraph. I was really crying, and it took a while like for me to stop crying, and he was encouraging.
What made you cry?
What made me cry is I felt discriminated against. I felt like that was like a racial thing, not only because I was Black, but because I'm also an immigrant. It was really challenging. I didn't know what to do because, like...
And you were young, too.
I was really sick. I was 17 by the time, and I did not know what to do with myself in that moment. I was trying to be professional at work because... Had it been someone else, the reaction would have been different. It would have been fine. But because I wasn't a citizen, I needed to be really careful because I don't want to. I know that we have strikes. You know, you can only be in trouble this amount of times or you're going to get sent home. And I was too young to be getting sent back home.
Of course.
And it was just really challenging because they were older than me, and I was angry, but I couldn't express my anger because I didn't think that I had the right to. And I was crying because of that. Yeah.
Okay. And then talk about the expectations. So you were telling me off record things about the expectations the employers would have towards the working immigrants. Yeah. So what about that?
So for me, it felt like everywhere I've worked, so I worked at Reno Hospital in Long-Term Silvers. Like, those are the main jobs that I worked too long enough. I worked at the airport, too. But it felt like just because of, like, what you hear about immigrants and what you hear about refugees, that, you know, some assumption that we're lazy. And I'm like, so because of that in my head, I'm like, I have to work harder than everybody else. And because I'm not from this country, I feel like I had to earn my place. So every day I'm at work, I cannot make mistakes. I cannot make sudden jokes. You know, you're at work, you're working hard. And also, it's just really hard because you can't really be yourself at work. Like, you can be yourself, but you really cannot be yourself, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that was like the challenges of that. That was like the challenging part. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it was hard on you. Were hard on yourself,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to prove yourself,
Yeah,
right?
because it's psychologically in your head. Also, like, you just don't want to get in trouble because you're easily disposable. It feels like that. I know everybody is, but like for immigrants, it's even harder because there's this like false uh, perception of who we are, perception of of who we are, and yeah, I think. Yeah, it's just always hard. I don't know. It's like, well, even recently, like, the current president has said a lot about immigrants, and I was still working. And I just remember even like going to work being really careful because I was like scared. Even though I was a citizen, mind you, I had become a citizen by this time, I was very like scared going to work. I'm like, okay, now, like, I don't know what the employers are gonna do, but good thing like Renown is like it was a good place, like they're inclusive and like diversity and everything. But still, you still have that thing in the back of your
So
head.
even though you're like doing everything right, you
Yeah.
still have your like back thoughts about like something could go wrong.
Yeah,
Just about like
just about
because
that, and you can just get sent home. And some people have been sent home even when they didn't do anything wrong, and then they have to do all this process to bring them back, and that's so much time, and we do not have that time, quite frankly. Yeah.
And you also mentioned that you were studying, like you were working while studying, right? So what are the main challenges for you were during that time when you were, I know that many of the US students, they do work couple of like multiple jobs sometimes, and they study, and it's very challenging, but what are the challenges were for you? Like what are the biggest ones that you faced? Any like trying to understand the work regulations and rules?
First thing first, I did not mention this. So because I'm not from here, I have an accent, and sometimes I do not pronounce
I cannot
it.
hear the accent though.
Some people point it out, and sometimes I cannot pronunciate words right. So that's always like an insecurity. Like, oh my gosh, am I speaking good enough English?
Imagine you have insecurities. You studied in the United States.
I know. I
to school
studied here. I know. It's just something that I think it's in the works of, like, I need to get over that. But it's something that's real, and I think I'm not the only one who deals with this. And especially wanting to work in a legal system, like, you have to speak in front of the judge, and like, oh, if I do this, am I going to be presenting my client very well? But when I was working and in school, the challenging was like trying to do homework and going to work at the right time. And then the bosses have expectations, and then the professors have like, and then you're like, oh, which one do I pick? I need the money to pay off the rest of, like, sometimes scholarships didn't cover everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I need the money. It's like, it's not like I cannot not go to work because I need the money. Because again, single dad, he can't pay for everything. He tries his best, but he also has all these other bills that he has to pay.
Right.
So like the pressure was always there to, like, I didn't work because I just wanted to work. I worked because I needed to work. It was a survival mode. And I know a lot of people in college too. Yeah, the challenge parts were just like at work, there's rules, and you have to read it 3 times to understand the rules, and like be at meetings, even if you have class, like, okay, I have to work around the schedule to try to manage like going to a work meeting and then have class the same day. Sometimes you didn't sleep. Sometimes I pulled 24 hours day.
Oh my God.
Because I worked night shifts. And I had a class at 10 a.m. and like I have to go to work. Get off work at 7 a.m. and then sleep for an hour, get ready for school. And then you have all these long classes. I had to learn how to manage that. I think a lot of students do, especially nursing students, they have to manage that, working at the hospital, the 12-hour shifts, and like learning, okay, maybe I cannot work day shift, but now when I pick classes, I have to pick later classes and stuff like that, what worked best for me. Learning that I'm not a morning person. Like, I am a morning person, but I cannot be in class in the morning. I do not do well being in a class in the morning. And that was a really long process. It took 3.5 years for me to realize this, because I really wanted to, like, make money. And then honest truth is, like, when I started making a lot of money, I was like, ooh, I like this, but my mental health is not doing well. But also, we need to do better in school, because I started not doing well in school. And I was like, ooh, we have to do better. So I had to cut off working sometimes.
Yeah, you always have to have your main goal in mind. And
sometimes when you see the cash that's not easily available, but the cash that's this, but you have to realize, oh my goodness, the goal. You have to remember the goal. And I almost lost the goal a few times, but because, I mean, some people walk away once they find a job that can pay stuff easily, but I didn't, because I really had a goal. I knew that I didn't want to work in a healthcare for a while. Yeah,
that's great. Okay, so and is there any help that you received from NNIC while navigating your studies and the workflow and everything? Is there anything that you needed support with and NNIC were able to step in?
Yes. High school. Let's start from the beginning. Middle school, I had help from NNIC. High school, NNIC advocated for me. Here, the word you're going to keep hearing is advocate. We need advocators. So NNIC advocated for me, like Mrs. Karina Black, like, she was like, do you need tutoring? Yes, I needed tutoring. Guess what I got? I got tutoring in high school.
Through the youth program, right?
Yeah, the youth program. And then, oh my goodness, for middle school, we went to summer camps. So we were engaging in, like, American culture, like the summer camps and all these things. We were including in these community things. And then I went to college fairs. I looked at different colleges since I was sophomore in high school. So I knew what college I wanted to. I knew I wanted to go to UNR. I looked at other colleges and I looked what they were offering, looked at scholarships, learned all these things when I was like 14, 15, because I needed to learn, like, oh yeah, this is a great school, but how much debt are you going to be in? All these things really young because of the NNIC.
Yeah, and also it's pretty challenging because your father not really in the picture, right?
Yeah.
He also, as an immigrant, doesn't have a perspective of how this all works.
Yeah, so we're all learning together. And it's like, my dad was there every tour we took of UNR. He was there every fair, like college fair. He was there looking at the colleges to, so like the college, getting into college was with the NNIC's help. Like what scholarships, whether going to TMCC route, like all these things, like we navigate, like how to navigate that was through NNIC. And also with Miss Karina Black, I would always reach out when I was in trouble in college. There's a year everything just seemed like I would hit a wall.
Okay.
And I remember it was like Refugee's Day, and I just was with her. I pulled her on the side, and I'm like, hey, I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. And then she was like, you know what? People go through this. You're gonna pull through. This is what you need to do. This is how many credits you need, all these things, and you got it. Even right now in the job process, because right now I'm looking for a job, she was one of the first people I reached out to. I'm like, I do not know I don't know what to do. People say connections. You guys are my best connections, and honestly, I'm trying to learn this, like being an adult thing. In college, you're an adult, but you can play around.
I mean, undergrads, you can't really say you're an adult. You have to, because you have to navigate your work things, and this is like very unique for the U.S. society, I think. Yeah, but
after college, that is like, okay, now I don't have a class. What do I do now? Like, okay, what jobs do you apply for? And that has been like a big thing.
Yeah, so what's next, Princess? What are you planning on doing next year after you get your degree?
So we're taking it. The goal again is to be an attorney, and you have to go to law school. But right now we're taking a break from that. I cannot specify when I'm gonna apply. I'm thinking of 2027, but we don't know yet. It's kind of blurry right now.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I'm trying to get to work into government jobs because
Why government job?
because it's a ladder, it's climbing a ladder, but also power. I'm not gonna lie, it's where you want change. There's a lot of change that we need to do in America, and working in a government is where the change can happen. Working, advocating for kids, adults, anything. So like working for the police, working for Washoe County. So that would be great. Yeah.
So this is your goal right now, to just get a job?
The goal is to get a job in the government. I am going to try until I get in.
And you will get in.
I will get
in.
in.
We truly believe in you.
I will get in. I'm telling y'all, I am going to get in. Yes.
That's great. And then you will be able to get that advocating, experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I want to know how it's like before I go dedicate 3 years of my life into school, and then after that a lifetime of advocacy, because it doesn't stop. And also preference, you do not have to be in a low field to be an advocator. Anybody can, by speaking up on social media, speaking up on anything. You can advocate for anything that needs to be, anyone that needs to be advocated towards.
Yeah. So if there will be one advice you would like to give to your, say, for like fellows who are also immigrants and students at this time and struggling, what it would be?
The grass is so green on the other side. I know someone says that a lot, but whatever you're going through right now, the hardships and everything, it's going to be worth it. In Spanish, the word they use, I think it's gratis, or that also like perseverance. Everything that you're doing right now, hard work pays off. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be different. Also, be yourself everywhere you go. Bring your culture, bring everything, Yes, we're in America, but that doesn't mean your heritage or where you come from you forget. Do not forget where you come from. Always remember, because that's what keeps you going. When you start forgetting where you're from and forgetting who you are, you get in trouble. And I believe, challenges that you have, they're not bad challenges. They're making you stronger, and just keep going. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be the only immigrant in the room. It's okay to be from a different country. I mean, that's the whole point of America,
Yeah.
America is built on like immigrants and people from everywhere.
And we will see your career in the future.
Yes.
And one day we will be, this girl.
Yeah.
We know her.
So, yeah.
And then at some point in life, you will be advocating for NNAC somewhere on the hill.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. And so my last question to you, Princess. So while you're entering this workforce, what are the main concerns you have in terms of your future? Like, are there any, or you're pretty sure that everything is covered and everything will be great?
Concerns.
Yeah.
It's not that I have concerns, because the concerns that I would have, I had them in college. Like, am I good enough? But I know now I'm good enough, the insecurities I had. I don't really have concerns, because I know what's meant for me will find me. God has already have that, and He will reveal, like, when it's time for me to get the job I want in the dream, God will make sure that's there, because like this journey has not been, I've had dreams, but only by God that I've been able to like
achieve
it. It's just, everything has just been by the power of God, and that's just been that.
That's great. That's great, Princess. And I truly believe myself, you were talking about being different and it's okay. I truly believe it's a benefit instead.
It is.
It's a benefit to be different, and you can bring so much more to the table at work, in the classroom, everywhere, right? Your personal experience.
Yeah. Being different has been great because you think differently.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in college, I was part of an organization. I was part of InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, and I was a leader. And I was like, my thoughts process was different from everybody, and I was kind of scared at first. But even our leader was also like Filipino, so it was like everyone was different. We had people from different places, and it was really good to see all the cultures. We sang we sang worship songs in his language and in my language and in different languages, and I think that was beautiful. And because of that, truly, because being of part of that organization, it helped me navigate how workforces might look like, because we're all different places, and it's good to celebrate each other. And yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Princess. We're, as an NAC, we're very proud of you, and we believe in you. And as I already said before, you can always come back and for any advice or just any celebration you will have. NAC will always support the clients and you specifically, everybody who came through us. And we are very proud to have such clients, to have such people to work with. So I hope to see you soon back here with some updates. You being a lawyer, an international lawyer, advocating for youth. So hopefully soon. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me, and thank you so much, NNIC. And Karina Black, I love you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, folks. Subscribe to our channel and also listen to our podcast on different podcasting platforms. Comment below if you have any questions. We will respond to those as well. And you can also leave us your prioritized topics and what would you like us to cover. So we would be happy to see your opinions. Thank you so much and stay with us on L.G.N.